Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Sadia Education Wali. I'm student at Rehan College Korangi Campus. Currently, I'm enrolled in Teacher Training Bootcamp 1. Today, we will talk with ChatGPT. So, our topic is how to think creatively and solve problems effectively. So, let's start. Hello, ChatGPT. My name is Sadia Education Wali, and today we will talk about how to think creatively and solve problems effectively.
Hi, Sadia. That sounds like a great topic. I'm really excited to dive into it. Where would you like to start? Maybe some key principles or a few practical strategies for sparking creative thinking?
Okay, ChatGPT. So my first question is, how is creative thinking and why is it important in today's world?
Great question. So, creative thinking is basically the ability to look at things from a new perspective, come up with original ideas, and find innovative solutions to problems. And it's super important today because we live in a fast changing world. New technologies, global challenges, you name it. Creative thinking helps us adapt, solve problems, and really stand out in any field. So, it's a bit of a superpower, honestly.
Okay, so my next question is, how is creative thinking different from critical thinking?
Ooh, yeah, that's a really good distinction. So, creative thinking is all about generating new ideas, breaking boundaries, and exploring possibilities. Critical thinking, on the other hand, is more about analyzing and evaluating those ideas, questioning assumptions, looking for flaws, and testing them logically. So, they're different sides of the same coin. Creative thinking sparks ideas, and critical thinking helps you refine them and decide which ones really work.
Okay, so my next question is, why are problem solving skills essential in everyday life?
Definitely. I mean, every single day we face little challenges, whether it's figuring out a stuck to do list, managing a conflict, or just making decisions about our time or resources. Problem solving skills are essential because they give us a roadmap to navigate uncertainty, keep us from feeling stuck, and help us make smarter choices, big or small.
Okay, so what are the biggest barrier to creative thinking?
Yeah, one of the biggest barriers is really that fear of failure or fear of being wrong. We often stick to what's familiar because it feels safe. And another big one is just mental habits, like relying too much on routine or only thinking inside the box. So, creating space for curiosity and playfulness is really key to breaking through those barriers.
Okay, so how does curiosity help improve creativity?
Oh, great point. So, curiosity is like rocket fuel for creativity. When you're curious, you're constantly asking what if or why not, and that leads you to explore new ideas, connect unrelated concepts, and just stay open to possibilities. So, the more curious you are, the more creative ideas you can uncover.
Okay, what role does imagination play in solving problems?
Imagination is huge. It lets you visualize possibilities beyond what's right in front of you. So, when you're solving a problem, imagination helps you step outside the usual patterns, dream up new approaches, and picture different outcomes. So, it's like a playground for your mind, letting you see what's possible even before it happens.
Okay, so how can asking better questions lead to better solutions?
Ooh, that's a big one. When you ask really thoughtful, specific questions, it kind of forces you to dig deeper and really unpack the root of a problem. It helps you focus on what really matters, identify gaps, and even spark new angles you might not have considered. So, better questions are like a compass, they guide you to more precise, effective solutions.
Okay, so how does brainstorming help generate creative ideas? Okay, ChatGPT, I'm saying what is important. What does brainstorming help generate creative ideas?
Absolutely. So, brainstorming is awesome because it kind of frees you from self censorship. You just Exactly. By suspending judgment and encouraging wild ideas, you create this environment where unexpected connections can happen. Then, once you have a ton of ideas, you can start refining and picking the best ones. So, it's a really powerful tool for sparking creativity.
Okay, so what are some effective techniques for improving creative thinking?
For sure. So, a few techniques that really help are things like mind mapping, where you visually organize your thoughts, or even things like forced connections, taking two random ideas and seeing how they could fit together. And of course, changing environments, like going for a walk or working in a new space, can spark fresh ideas too.
Okay, ChatGPT. So, how can reading and continuous learning boost creativity?
Oh, that's a great one. So, when you read and you keep learning, you're constantly exposing yourself to new perspectives, new information, and fresh ideas. All that mental input acts like fuel, giving you more raw material to draw from when you're trying to be creative. So, the more you learn, the more connections your brain can make and the more ideas you can spark.
Okay, ChatGPT. How can stepping outside your comfort zone improve problem solving skills?
Absolutely. When you step outside your comfort zone, you kind of force yourself to encounter unfamiliar situations and challenges. And that in turn pushes you to adapt, experiment, and think in new ways. So each time you face something new, you stretch your problem solving muscles and you build more flexibility and creativity in your approach.
Okay, ChatGPT. My next question is
Of course. What's your next question? I'm ready to dive in.
okay, so what is the importance of staying open minded and solving problems?
That's a great one. Staying open minded is crucial because it allows you to consider a wider range of possibilities, perspectives, and solutions. When you don't cling to one single answer, you're more likely to spot innovative approaches and collaborate effectively with others. So it really broadens your problem solving toolkit.
Okay, how can time management improve decision making and creativity? Okay, ChatGPT, how can time management improve decision making and creativity?
Great connection. So, when you manage your time well, you reduce stress and create space for reflection. That means you can step back, consider options. Exactly. And by having this time buffer, you can explore creative ideas more freely, avoid rushing decisions, and give yourself the mental breathing room to connect dots in new ways. So, time management really helps you balance focus and creativity.
Okay, ChatGPT. So, what role does technology and artificial intelligence play in creative problem solving?
That's a big one. Technology and AI can be huge enablers. They can help you analyze data, spot patterns, even generate ideas you might not have considered. And by automating routine tasks, they free you up to focus on more imaginative, high level thinking. So they're really like a creative partner, amplifying what we can do.
Okay, what daily habit can help improve creativity?
Ooh, a really powerful daily habit is setting aside a little time for reflection or journaling, just capturing random thoughts, doodles, or ideas. Another great habit is to regularly expose yourself to different forms of art, media, or even just new experiences. So you keep that creative fuel flowing.
Okay, ChatGPT, what is it important to test and refine ideas instead of seeking perfections?
That's such a good point. When you test and refine ideas, you learn so much faster. You get real feedback, you see what works, and you can adapt quickly. If you aim for perfection too soon, you often get stuck or you miss opportunities. So it's that iterative process, testing, learning, and improving, that really fuels creativity.
Okay, ChatGPT, how can innovation help business and individuals succeed?
Oh, that's a great question. So, innovation helps businesses stay competitive by bringing exactly. And on the individual side, innovation lets you stand out, whether that's in your career, your personal projects, or your own problem solving skills. It opens doors to new opportunities, helps you adapt to change, and really pushes both businesses and individuals forward.
Okay, ChatGPT, what advice would you give to someone who believes they are not creative?
That's a really common feeling. I'd say first be kind to yourself. Creativity is a skill, not a fixed trait. Start small. Experiment with little creative exercises daily, like doodling, writing, or brainstorming without pressure. And remember, creativity thrives in curiosity. So just explore, play, and trust the process.
Okay, so What is the most valuable lesson you have learned about creative thinking and problem solving?
Ooh, I think the biggest lesson I've learned is that it's all about giving yourself permission to be imperfect. Creativity and problem solving thrive when you're willing to experiment, fail, and iterate. So the more I of that need for instant perfection, the more freedom I find to explore unexpected solutions. So creativity really blossoms when you trust yourself to keep going, even if it's messy at first.
Okay, so my last question is, what is your final advice for anyone who wants to become a more creative thinker and solve problems more effectively every day?
Ooh, I would say stay curious and be consistent. Just make it a daily practice. Ask more questions, experiment with different approaches, and give yourself the space to play. And remember, every challenge is a chance to grow. So keep an open mind and trust yourself.
Okay, thank you so much, ChatGPT, for sharing your valuable insight. Allah Hafiz.
You're so welcome. I'm really glad I could help. Take care and Allah Hafiz.
And thank you so much, everyone, for listening me. Allah Hafiz.